Members. Once again, at this point, it's very much crucial and very much important to make sure that we break this market down based from a top-down analysis all the way up from a bottom analysis. A bottom analysis, guys, again, top-down analysis means starting from the biggest time frame to the smallest time frame. Bottom-up analysis means starting from the smallest time frame to the biggest time frame. But your analysis will always start from the biggest time frame to the smallest time frame. So everything that you are able to analyze and determine from the biggest time frame, as you analyze it from the smallest time frame, you try to put it all together to find just one mere conclusion that will dictate and help you in making that trading decision. So let's say where our entry actually coming from. Mostly my entries are being confirmed by the use of all these time frames. There is no one specific time frames among this one. From the monthly, I told you what we do on the monthly. I told you what you do on the weekly. I told you what you do on the daily. But between 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour and 4 hours, we use them in conjunction to get our entries. So now let's go to the market, because while we're still here, we might just get the most beautiful and perfect setup as ever as possible. We never know. It depends on the current market conditions. So we're still on that Nasdaq, or what you simply call the US Tech or Nas 100 or US 100. So from the 1 hour, guys, look at how. Okay, let's go back to the monthly. Let's just cover up the importance of top-down analysis before we do a bottom-up analysis. You see, this monthly candlestick alone, right? This one, the current month. Let's take it to the 1 hour. That monthly says it's above resistance. And then that above resistance on the 1 hour, it means this kind of a big move. Everybody can see an exhaustion. Everybody can tell this one is going to go down. But if you don't really have that accurate volume coming from the monthly first, you wouldn't really know where the takeover is going to be. It's going to come, but for Nasdaq, if you don't get it at the right time, you're going to lose a lot of momentum. You might even blow your account before it goes into your direction. So let me just actually remove that blue region from the monthly, because mainly we don't even do it like that. We just highlight it to show you the importance of how big that region on the monthly alone it can be. So let's look at the trend from the 1 hour. Remember, from the 1 hour alone, we are already above our resistance due to the regions we have found on the monthly, weekly, and the daily as well. So if we are above resistance, let's look at the trend we have above the 1 hour time frame. So this is the monthly resistance, which is the 1 hour support now. Do you get what I mean? We have the first impulse, right? And then after that impulse, we have the retest. After that retest, we have a breakout plus a continuation. And then after that one onwards, we have a correction phase. That correction phase, once it takes place, we have a breakout. And then that breakout is a breakout of what? That breakout is a breakout of what was supposed to have been our main previous or current resistance. So I'm just going to remove those lines that differentiate the different level or phases of that stage of a trend. So far, the two moving averages are also moving below our price. Now here we have our main resistance. Here we have our main resistance, and plus price is above the monthly resistance and even the 1 hour resistance. So what does that mean? It means if the first stage of the trend, it was all the way up to this level where our resistance is at, then it means even the 1 hour, if it is to continue the trend, then most probably the second phase of the trend, right? The second phase of the trend after this breakout, this Nasdaq has to go all the way up to that 14,600 or even $15,000 on the dot. If it will face or spike all the way to the upside. But so far, I feel like based on the momentum we've gained from the top-down analysis, because on the 1 hour, it seems to be a huge potential to continue going all the way up. But again, remember, you can buy something that you don't own. You can buy something that you don't own. You can walk up into any store and buy something that you don't own, but you can't go into that store and sell something that you don't own. So even though we know Nasdaq is going to sell because it had the resistance, it might even sell to retesting these two moving averages. What if it maintains below these two moving averages and go all the way down to retest the monthly resistance? It's a big one. Do you get what I mean? From 13,800 to 12,700, you can make a lot of money. And so many people can be proud of the sell order that they take. But you can buy something that you don't own, but you can't sell something that you don't own. When it reverses, for those who are going to be thinking it's going to be a long-term sell, Nasdaq is going to be now taking off from this support. If it can reach this support, if it has to retest, It will buy from here and then continue fulfilling this upward target we need after this breakout that you can see above this region here. It's never just going to be like a dramatic, unless if you have a national lockdown all over the world where Apple won't sell any stock, Netflix, but at the end of the day, Nasdaq is like the high-tech companies. We're speaking Google, we're speaking Amazon, we're speaking Netflix, we're speaking eBay, we're also speaking Microsoft. All these are digital, man. We're speaking Facebook. Either lockdown or not, to a certain degree, their stock will still continue going all the way up. And because the people who own them, they're actually the people at the top of the food chain, the people on the top 10 of the Forbes list, these people, all they want to see is to go up. So since, well, you can't sell what they own, but you can buy what they own. You can buy, like you can't sell iPhone up until you buy iPhone to own it. Do you get what I mean? So most probably the stocks, because you don't own the stocks, you can own an iPhone. It's a piece of, it's not even a piece of the stock. It's what they sell as part of the stock. Do you get what I mean? So they can sell that and then push the price a little bit downwards. And which is the reason why I believe Nasdaq is going to sell. And I'm going to be selling it with some of you guys. But don't be fooled and don't be like disillusioned to think that it's going to continue being just only simply a sell. Now, do you see this trend here? That's where trends actually comes handy, especially when you use the smallest time frame, such as your 1 hour and even your daily. Because the daily, sometimes it can be close to the weekly, but at the end of the day, the daily can also be close to what? It can also be close to your, what you call, like your H4 as well. And H4 is close to the 1 hour to a certain degree, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are in this kind of scenario, you can see the trend. So for as much as you're still above that trend, we just rather have to wait for a breakout. At least if it can't maintain it below these two moving averages, then we can't even like expect to see at least about 12,700 and 12,900. And for as much as you can be above, then it will mean we'll have to complete the overall trend that you can see, which is to go as high as 14,650, because it has to complete this 1 hour trend, which is moving above what? Which is moving above our monthly resistance and our weekly resistance. I deleted the moving averages. Did you see that? The green one by mistake. I wanted to delete the trends, but overall we're gonna delete the trends and then go to the 1 minute and then see what the 1 minute is saying, because some of you perhaps you thought you can't analyze the 1 minute. The market moving stages, go and watch the other videos that are already posted. Those stages, even on the smallest time frames, they do make relevance as well. So let's say even on the smallest time frame, on the 1 minute, let's say this was our what? Because clearly everybody could see this was our consolidation phase because of the range that you're currently in. So between here and here, let me actually remove the yellow one. It doesn't make any sense at all. But if you put the red one, is like correction phase, right? Impulse, retest, continuation, and a breakout. Okay, cool. You see this continuation and a breakout, at the end of the day, it has already breached out the previous high, even if you put it up the wick, right? But this one is already breached up, because like look, this is here, man, this is here. You see what I mean? This is up here. So this one definitely means it was like a complete breakout, even though after that breakout came what? Came a retest. And then when that retest took place, it took a place in the form of a correction phase, and then that correction phase took a shape of a falling wedge. Do you get what I mean? It took a shape in terms of a falling wedge. Let me make it the green one. Let me make it the green one. Let me make it the green one. So here you'll notice that while it was actually correcting at that first stage of the market, it was actually forming a falling wedge. Falling wedge is a reversal pattern, which means by the time it reaches the lowest here, that was like, okay, cool, look at this. This is like first touch, second touch, third touch, then we break out, we continue the trend. Trend which is supposed to be the same level as what? As the first phase, and is this one. The 1 hour trend is complete. From the 1 minute time frame, Nasdaq is selling. What more else do you want guys to know? This is it from the dollar saturated community, because we care a lot about you guys, and I hope you apply this content. Watch them over and over. Look for this pattern many times over and over the market. Practice them. Don't expect them to make you overnight riches. They will make you the riches, but not overnight.